Hello everyone. Soft skills are the term used for those skills that are not technical or not related to your job but plays a major role in your success in whatever you do. Whether you are managing an EHS function or any other business verticals. Did you ever give a thought about the soft skills required to you being an EHS professional? Soft skills involves communication abilities, language skills, personal habits, and many more. Let us explore that together today. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on which part of the world you are. With absolute pride and pleasure, we are welcoming all of you to our 8th webinar during this lockdown period. Thanks for the overwhelming response. We got 765 registration from 13 countries. Now, let me take you through the functionality of the technology platform we are using for the call today and other logistical information. All of you have been muted for the duration of the call. We will unmute the selected participants during the Q&A session. You can use on-screen chat option for sending out your queries during the call. Please try to use the chat option only if you have a question. I'm repeating it under a humble request to avoid sending general text messages as we progress in the call, as it can distract others in the call. We will try to attend the maximum queries during the Q&A session considering the time availability. We have a provision for issuing certificate for this webinar. Those who wish to get the participation certificate, do fill the feedback form and opt in for getting the certificate through the feedback form. We will send the link to this feedback form during the Q&A session through your on-screen chat option. Now, let's go through the agenda of our webinar today. Yes, you read it right on your screen, how to become the magician. Our speaker of the day, Colonel Amar Bindra, is going to take us through that magical experience. I will soon hand over the call to him after a quick introduction. Teamtech EHS is a fast-growing environment, health, safety, social, and sustainability consulting organization based out of Bangalore, India. Myself, Dipil, the director and lead consultant of Teamtech EHS. Teamtech EHS is well placed to support your environment, health, safety, social, and sustainability consulting needs. Do feel free to reach out to us for any of your consulting needs. As our tagline says, we are your partner for sustainable brand value. Now, let me talk a few words about Colonel Amar Bindra. I know Colonel Bindra from last 9 years. I was fortunate to attend one of his workshops on the Train the Trainer facilitation skill, which was organized by my employer at that time, Ultratech Cement. The learning changed the way I faced the audience further. It was truly a transformational training for me. I think this is the best way I can introduce our today's speaker, Colonel Amar Bindra. He has more than 45 years of experience and currently he is one of the directors of the Performance Enablers and based out of Panchkula, Haryana, India. Many thanks, Colonel Amar Bindra, to be with us today. A warm welcome. Over to you to take this forward.
Thank you, Dipil. Namaste and Namaskar. That is the global way of wishing everybody today while maintaining social distancing. Just to take my introduction a little forward, yes, I am a colonel, but I am not a retired colonel. I am not even tired. How can I be retired? I joined the army at the age of 16. Yes, you heard me right. 1-6 through what is called the National Defence Academy in India. When a young boy who's not even shaving joins this premier institution called the Cradle of Leadership, he learns to become a soldier who's a tough soldier, a soldier who can handle the toughest of the battles. When you work and serve your nation in a battlefield like the Siachen Glacier, which is many, many thousands of feet above the sea level, you face locked in every day. There is no COVID-19, but there is a battle to be fought. They say the toughest battles are won by the toughest soldiers. And one of the first principles I learned in the National Defense Academy was that to be a tough soldier, to win a tough battle, you have to have the charisma of very soft skills. So friends, that is the context why people like you who are EHS leaders, I call you not EHS professionals, I call you EHS leaders. Today, the environment, today the health, and today the safety is in your hands. People have many unanswered questions. They are looking up to you. The industry has to get back to shape. The engine has to restart. And this time, there will be no time to walk. People have to stand and they have to run. What is it that you will do with them so that you are recognized and appreciated not just as an EHS professional, but an EHS leader? So for the next couple of minutes, I'm going to take you to a journey of awareness. I don't promise that this is magic, but yes, you will get the feel of becoming a magician. Let me caution you, no wings will grow out of your shoulders tomorrow morning. None of you will become fairies. Perhaps, if you keep in mind what I'm saying, you might become a little more meaningful the way you handle your profession. There is no way I promise you that life will become easier. But there is a way to become a magician. And that is a threefold journey. These 3 pointers in the takeaways point to what can make you a great communicator. One example which comes to my mind is today, the most prolific EHS leader today in India is the Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. If you look at these 3 options, there is no other way he is handling 1.4 billion, 140 crore, except by becoming a great communicator. And he using the power of influencing. He has perhaps no authority on people, and he is also saying no very politely and firmly. We have to look at these 3 options. These are not the only 3 options as a EHS leader today in the area of soft skills. I am not opening a Pandora's box. I am showing you the mirror. Where you see a better image of your own behavior, I am showing you a behavioral mirror. You spend a lot of time in front of the mirror. I think you need to pause and reflect and peep into the behavioral mirror. How do you talk to people? So that brings us into the option of making yourself into a great communicator. So let us look at the first skills, which is called communication skills. Why is this topic being discussed in a seminar on EHS? Obviously, I'm used to communication. I know what I have to speak. I'm a subject matter expert. I have spent so much time in the 3 functions of environment handling, organizational health, and safety of the workman. Am I used to only understanding what I speak, or do I pause and look at how I speak? Let me dig a little deeper. When I talk of communication skills, what obviously comes to my mind is how I talk to people, how I give my mails, how I make my phone calls. This is called the verbal content. This is the verbal communication, very obvious. It is either spoken or written. This is where the content gets downloaded. It's what you speak. It has everything to do with the content. But there is something called your intent. Something what the Japanese says, your ikigai. Your purpose. How do people get to know what is the purpose of what you are speaking? That is your non-verbal communication. Your body language, your facial expression, and your voice. When you stand in a meeting and you speak, people look up to you. First they look at you. It's not what you're speaking, but how you're speaking. This is the power of how you speak. This shows your intent. This shows your intention. Going a little deeper into this, what you speak versus how you speak, I need to quote a gentleman in California. His name is Albert Mehrabian. He's done a study, and some of you must have heard of this study earlier. He says, if you have to reflect on what you speak, on the issues of environment, organizational health and safety, it's also about how you speak. The opportunity of impact is only 7% through verbal. 93% is other than verbal. My contents are definitely very critical, but how can I ignore the 93% of the other two V's? The vocal, the power of my voice, and the visual, the power of my appearance and body language, my facial expressions, the way I connect with people. Again, quoting the Honorable Prime Minister of the country, when he comes online to a talk to the nation, I think you see all three. And when he does just a call called Man Ki Baat on a Sunday morning like he did last Sunday, you see the power of the vocal. So these three V's are areas for me to become more aware as an EHS professional. So let us go and dig deep into this, the visual, vocal and the verbal. Verbal obviously is verbal communication, but there has to be a mindfulness of the visual and the vocal. Within the limitations of the time, I need to make you more aware that appearance counts, your posture counts, your eye contact. Every person in the meeting you speak to, or every person in the video conference you speak to, or every person you look at should feel that you are speaking to him. Industry is looking up to you. And if you are not speaking to people and you are looking into a piece of paper, how will you get the connect? How will you get the motivation? So your gestures, your random body movement is the way you move inadvertently.
Thank you. It is a very good session. In our practical life, we are found very much difficulty in convincing the people. Like if I find any legal concern, if any found any problem, and we discuss about some solutions, and we tell him that these are some probable impact if any activity you are doing. Then for the convincing the people, what the tactics we have to adopt? Can you give some more input on this?
Oh yes, Vipin, I think that's a very natural question that you're asking, and I really appreciate your question. Perhaps you have to understand that the other person is different. The legal guy is different from you. The other party is different. The mathematical model is different is not equal to difficult. Different is not equal to wrong. Different is equal to different. Learn to appreciate that people are different. They have different. So how do you establish the commonality? I gave the example of somebody belonging to your hometown. Now, Vipin, which is your hometown?
Colonel Sahab, I muted him so that there was some background voice.
Okay, doesn't matter. So let's say don't unmute him. Okay, I'll continue. So Vipin, when you talk to a legal guy, at the rapport stage, establish some commonality. And commonality is the success of the organization. We have to have a bigger picture. Grow out of your silos. Seamlessly have conversation with people. Appreciate the difference. You know, agree or disagree, but commit. All the disagreement should be face to face. There should be no criticism of the joint decision in the corridor. Agree or disagree, but commit. Does that perhaps answer your question? Yes, guest.
Okay, great. Thanks, Colonel. We are trying to take our next question. I think we are going to get Mohit online. Mohit, you
Yes,
can ask
Mohit.
your question.
Hello.